Hello and welcome into the Hogs Happy Hour here on the Four Star Sports Media Network. I'm your host Blake and is joined by Coach Wilson and Jason. Fellas, how's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. So another disappointing weekend on the hill at home, losing to Texas and a rivalry renewed. It's going to be exciting for that game to be played every year now. So all right, there we go. Had to find the right button. Anyways, so again, another SEC home loss. Pittman's record at home in SEC games is not the best. Okay, which we will get into Pittman later in the show. But before we get into anything, if you're ready for the big game, score a touchdown with your ticket purchase. Use promo code 4 Star Sports Media on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first order. Don't miss out on the action. Grab your tickets today and save. So there's only about 2 weeks left for the Hogs. So if you're out there buying tickets, and especially if you're buying tickets to the basketball game, because we need to fill up those seats, please use the SeatGeek promo code. So what are y'all's thoughts on last week's game? We'll start with Ashton.
Um, well, as far as the game goes, it, it I wasn't super thrilled with the way the offense kind of came out flat. I was super impressed with the defense. You know, you look at Texas' schedule; their schedule hasn't been the toughest, and I think most people on ESPN, most commentators, and people on websites recognize that going into the game that the schedule for Texas. Arkansas was going to actually be one of the tougher teams they had played this year. And, I predicted actually that Texas would have a blowout. I predicted we would score 10 points. I predicted 55-10. We ended up
Good
losing
job.
20 to
Good
10.
job.
Yeah, I didn't predict that.
Good job.
But the bad part is that Arkansas's offense has been predictable. So you against better teams, Arkansas struggles to move the ball. And what frustrated me was that in the first half we didn't do anything, and if we'd had just a little bit of life in the first half, we might have actually won that game. Which here we are now. We lost, so we competed. Defense came ready to play, which is not surprising. It's just been a hit or miss with defense. Either they're getting torched, or they're playing like their pants are on fire. But offense, let's be honest, guys. You sit around and you go, all right, when is there going to be an interception? When is there going to be a fumble? Things like that. And really, it wasn't Taylor's fault. It's just our receivers have bricks for hands. So, anyways.
All right, Jason, what's your thoughts on the game?
I mean, our flaws that we've seen throughout the whole season are still there. There hasn't really been any improvement on pretty much of anything. Although we did make a 44-yard field goal.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Which is,
big? That was big time when it happened too. I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah, because that made it a 3-point game at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, do you think that the offense fall flag think that falls on Petrino? Or do you think he's doing the best play calling that he can with the personnel that he has?
I mean, if you look at our offense yards and we're in the top half of the SEC. Like it's not. I mean, it's just those untimely turnovers. When we turn the ball over, it's in the worst spot. Okay, you think back to the LSU game. Down there at the goal line. I mean, that interception. I mean, Broden should catch that, and we should be in Texas territory. But he does it, pops up, interception, and then Texas goes out and scores. So it's just when we turn the ball over, it's just at the wrong time. These great teams. You see Georgia turns the ball over, but it's like it's okay if they do because it's not at a bad spot on the field. But I don't.
Yeah.
I know me and Ashton have talked about this. Petrino is not Petrino. Like he's kind of lost his. I mean, he is older, but to me he has lost his fire just a little bit.
I mean, I think we brought that up when we did a show about him first being hired. I mean, we basically said this feels like it's not the same Petrino that was here. He's mellowed out a lot. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you definitely don't see him yelling at players or officials on the sideline like he used to.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to very quickly go over some of Arkansas stats. Taylor Green was 17 of 25 for 149 yards and one interception, 0 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Jaquindon Jackson, 11 carries, 56 yards, and he had the lone touchdown of the day. Rashad Dominion, he ran hard. He had 7 carries, 30 yards. And then receiving, Andrew Armstrong, I mean, he was kind of in that third quarter. He just kind of took over for a little bit there. Ended up 6 catches, 74 yards. So, offense just really, like Ashton said, offense struggled in that first half and just couldn't get it going. Defense played well. I mean, when I don't know if y'all watched the college football playoff show. Texas's biggest wins are at Vandy and Arkansas, which
Yeah.
Texas is not the third best. They're maybe not even the eighth best team. I mean,
what gets me is like they're ranked above Georgia, but Georgia's beating them.
Yeah,
and
and the SEC people did Texas a favor because if you look at Ashton's second favorite team, Oklahoma, their schedule compared to Texas' schedule is different, and it's going to be the same schedule next year. They just switch the conference home and away, but yeah. Anything else on this game? I know it's disappointing. Now I want to shout out the fan. I mean, the fans showed up for that 11 o'clock kickoff. I mean, it was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few empty rows.
There was almost 75,000 people there at the game for 11 a.m. kickoff.
So if you question if Arkansas cares about this Texas game, that should tell you something right there. So
well, I think I said something to you this weekend that kind of made sense. So I was like, if the AD and stuff's not going to take football seriously, Arkansas fans need to lower their expectations every year of what to expect.
Yeah. So let's talk about our good old boy, Mr. Coach Sam Pittman. If you read reports or podcasts or anything like that, all indications are, barring a meltdown, Pittman will be coming back. Now, we can go back to our show this time last year, and I guarantee you we're in the same spot. We're like, something needs to happen. So a change needs to happen somewhere. So, Ashton, what's your thoughts on Pittman and if he should come back or shouldn't come back, or does he deserve to come back, or should he retire? What?
So all indications are that, or at least coming out of Fayetteville, are that he will be returning next season. Now that's been directly from that's been reported by Trey Biddy. That's been reported by several others. However, I'm not entirely convinced of that, primarily because if you look at the press conferences, Trey Biddy's walk and talks are much different than whenever he's at the press conference. Trey Biddy, what I take it for what it is. Those guys have to say certain things or can't say certain things, and like we talk about it, like I could physically say I think Sam needs to retire. Okay, Trey Biddy can't say that. Okay.
Well, I will say Trey on his show today was like, he said something about that on his show. Like he said, I'm not a mouthpiece for the university. He said, I could care less about this media credential. He said, do you think, he's a independent reporter. He said, do you think his numbers would do well covering a 6-6 team versus a 10-2 team? He said he wants the team to do well. He's just reporting the facts.
Do you think Sam's coming back? So here's the deal. If Sam comes back next year, if people really think that when Arkansas plays Texas that there's going to be 70,000 people in those stands, they are delusional. There will not be 70,000 people in those stands. And if you as a university say Sam's coming back, then you are accepting putting a mediocre product on the field. And I can't stand Bo Mattingly and what Chuck
Chuck
Barrett, what Chuck Barrett
Mhm.
had to say about how this is the norm. 6-6 is the norm.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it's what we've historically been, but
Yes,
it's not the norm.
that is
There's a
not this.
difference.
Historically speaking, that is what we have been. And Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly basically said, "Accept it." No, I will not accept it. That's ridiculous. You can't pay someone $5 million a year to go 6-6 and say accept it. That's absolutely absurd. You want the state of Arkansas, you want the households, the state of Arkansas to send money. It ain't happening. It's not happening with Sam Pittman as the head coach, and they better accept that.
Yep. All right, Jason, any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Look, if you notice in his post-game conferences, Sam likes to use the term "we got out-coached" a lot.
For 5 years.
For 5 years. That should tell you something about his ability.
Yeah.
I think last year we said, if he didn't, retire or anything, this was going to be a lost season.
Yeah.
And it's kind of exactly what it is. I mean, we play Louisiana Tech this week, which we should beat them.
Should win.
So we can go to a bowl game, which
Birmingham, baby. Woo!
I mean, we're sitting at, if we win that, we won 2 more games than last year. Is that a $5 million improvement? No.
Do you think Arkansas fans are sick of hanging out in Birmingham every year?
Or Memphis?
Can we go somewhere else, please?
All right. So Ashton brought up Chuck. Here's one of the now. If you want to listen to a show, that's fine. But this is one of their clips from this week.
You look at our state over the last, and I'll go back 20 years. How many players have we produced that were really championship level in the SEC? McFadden, Mallett. It's hard to compete for a championship when your state doesn't turn out championship level players. When you're talking about a guy that's going to win you the SEC, he's got to be a generational guy around here. Now at Georgia, Alabama, some of these other places, well, they got a McFadden coming through every 3, 4, 5 years. We've had it once in my lifetime. Once. That's just the cold, hard reality. Nobody likes to hear that. I don't like it. Our state just has not produced those type players that can win you a championship. What they produce are players that can compete in the SEC. They can compete, but they can't win at the level that people want them to. It's not a knock on anybody. It's just looking at the data over the last 30 years. It's just the truth. You look at our state over the last, and I'll go.
There we go. So, yeah, he basically saying Arkansas High School, you suck. But here's the thing. The 4 and 5 stars we do have, they're not going to Arkansas. They're going to LSU. They're going to Oklahoma, Kansas State. Like, they're not going to Arkansas.
I'm curious. Am I the only Jason? I'm curious. Can you hear the video from Chuck Barrett? Can you hear him talking? I was wondering if that was just me.
Okay.
I don't know if the people out there listening can hear it or not.
Well,
be honest
we'll
with
figure
you.
it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
But so I'm just going to reiterate what Blake was saying. Yeah. Blake was saying basically Chuck Barrett said Arkansas football sucks. Now he didn't say it like that, but that's what he meant. Arkansas football, high school football, is not good enough in this state for Arkansas to be better than 6-6, which I think is a complete load of crap because every single one of our best players are going everywhere but the University of Arkansas because Arkansas Razorback football sucks.
Yeah.
And Sam Pittman couldn't fire up. I don't know. Couldn't fire up anybody. I mean, I like Sam. I mean, would all three of us agree that we want Sam to be successful?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah. He reminds me a lot of Houston Nutt. Like he has some Houston Nutt tendencies. I don't know. But
I don't know. Houston Nutt gets you ready to run through a wall.
I know. That's why it's like. That's why I say he's like. Maybe Sam Pittman get us ready for a buffet or something, but I don't know about a football game.
No,
I enjoy eating.
I do too. I go eat with him. But I just don't think just don't think that. I don't know, man. I don't think that he has it. Just has the ability anymore to do this year in and year out. I mean,
Well,
you look. I want you to compare
Concur.
Kurt Signetti to Sam Pittman. What the
Yeah,
age there,
yeah.
and then I
That's
want you
not
to
much
talk.
of a difference.
No, not much of a difference.
No.
But I want to talk.
Mm-mm.
But then tell me the difference between how they go about doing their business.
No, yeah. I mean, Kurt basically said, "Google me." You know, I win. You know, he's very confident about himself, and as Jason, Pittman comes up, oh, we just got out coach. It's just the same story. Got out coach, got outplayed, out. I mean, it's for 5 years, and you look at the other coaches who are in this 5 year cycle. You got Kiffin, you got Drinkwitz. I mean, they're in the top 25.
Now, here I'll say this: to be fair, year one and year two were decent years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those were not necessarily his recruits. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he took them and he won with them. Granted, I'll give him that. But since then, since he's had to go out and get his own guys, they've been terrible.
Yep.
I mean, they're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good.
It's all because Barry Odom left.
Yeah.
Barry
He was the
Odom
glue.
he was secretly coaching the team.
And
He was secretly telling Sam what to do.
Could have. I mean, won't put it past him. But going back to Chuck's comments about Arkansas, we'll have a great player every 4 or 5 years. All right, I'm just looking at the top 10. All right, Oregon. Do you think the state of Oregon, produces talent?
okay. I honestly couldn't tell you.
All right, what about the state of Pennsylvania?
Probably not.
Okay, Indiana.
No.
Okay, so it's not. I mean, all these teams go out. They go to Texas, Florida, California. And
That's right.
They find dudes.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You've got to win, and you've got to win the recruiting battles in the state of Texas, in the state of Florida. You got to go to Georgia. You got to go to California. You got to go to Louisiana.
Yeah.
And we ain't winning the battles. Look at the recruiting class we got. How we managed to get Tavion Wallace has nothing to do with Sam Pittman. Has absolutely nothing to do with Sam Pittman. It was all Travis Williams.
Yep.
And if Travis Williams isn't on this staff, I can guarantee you Tavion Wallace is not a Razorback.
Well,
I was just curious. I was looking at the total number of NFL players by state.
Yeah.
Arkansas has 34 current NFL players.
Yeah.
Actually born in Arkansas.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't. But again, we can argue this all day. But yeah, Chuck and Bo, they're just so out of touch. And Chuck shouldn't be out of touch. He's the play-by-play. Like he sees it.
He is 100% out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
No.
But
he is. I'm sorry.
His job is safe. It's not like he's going to lose anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, the Hogs do play this weekend, and it's not an SEC opponent, thankfully. All right, we got the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs coming in. They are a 22.5-point underdog to the Razorbacks. Now, here's some stats about Louisiana Tech. All right, this is Ashton. This might surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
They have only lost by more than 10 points one time.
Yeah, I believe it.
And that was to NC State. They have had 3 overtime games this year.
Okay.
So what that tells me is it's a gritty group of guys. And if Vegas thinks we can beat them by 22.5, I mean, we will be the second team this year that has done that has beat them by more than 10. So they are, I think they're 4-6 on the season. Could be wrong on that, but if you come out flat like we did against UAB, you will get beat. If we go down 17-0.
I don't even like playing at home anymore.
No.
I don't know what it is about playing it. I don't know what it is when Arkansas fans pack that stadium and we come out flat. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
and I've heard so many times that it just didn't. We weren't prepared. That's on us. Well, yeah, we know it's on you. You gotta be prepared. Yeah, and we're just tired of listening to it.
Yeah, It's the same story, different song. But yeah. So was it 3:15 kickoff, Jason? 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. It is Educator Day there. I know they were handing out some cheap tickets to the teachers at the beginning of the season. So Ashton, if you feel like going up to the hill, you
Boy,
can.
I'd love to waste my gas to go up there.
But uh, but let's just if they do lose, I'm just throwing things out there. If they do lose, you're about to see a meltdown of epic proportions.
Let it happen.
Yeah,
But here's the deal. So I mean, Arkansas, I think Arkansas obviously should win the game.
yeah,
But if Arkansas goes 6-6, because I'm sorry, although Missouri has struggled here lately, we will find a way to make Missouri look like they're the greatest team in history. Just have a feeling about it.
Yeah.
But if Arkansas goes 6-6, what have we accomplished?
I mean,
They
a
won
bowl
2 more
game.
games.
Boy,
last
I
year.
know, but the expectations were so low.
Yeah, I mean they were low. So like, I mean, if we set this back in August, would you take 6-6 in August?
I would have taken 6-6 last year after,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
year, I mean, well, I'll take 6-6, but the thing is like I'm taking it. I'm not happy
Yeah.
with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sick of taking 6-6. We say this every year.
Yeah.
Will you take
Yeah.
6-6?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, every
Yeah.
fan base will take a bowl game, but like, at what point do you like? Can we have something a little bit more than a bowl game? You don't get recruits in by giving them the Birmingham Bowl. I'm sorry, you don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Especially in the SEC. The SEC, if your goal is the Birmingham Bowl, you need to rethink some things.
The toilet bowl, as we call
Yeah.
it.
The toilet bowl. Yeah. And
I
guess
know
what? If you go to the Liberty Bowl and West, this is no shot at Memphis. You're just going under some renovations. Only half the stadium is like available because they're doing some really good renovations to it, but and there's only about I think 35,000 seats available.
I mean, I don't know, man. Just the recruiting class is I can't believe it. It's okay. I think we're 29th, which it sounds great, right? It sounds great. You're 29th overall out of all the teams, but if you go look and compare to the SEC, we're near the complete bottom. And I'm not. I wouldn't be shocked if Vanderbilt hasn't overtaken us or will overtake us because Clark Lee is doing some good things at Vanderbilt, and that's what you want to see, right, Blake? You want to see a coach come in and see a trend start going the other direction. Now, is Vanderbilt looking to win a national championship? No. But you want to see some improvement. All we've seen the last 3 years is this.
Yep. It's up. Well, it's up and down. Up and like we beat Tennessee. And think about it, if Arkansas didn't beat Tennessee, Tennessee would probably be in the top 4.
Well, if
Top
Arkansas
3.
doesn't beat Tennessee, you're probably you're for sure firing Sam Pittman because we're going to probably finish 5-7.
Yeah. Yeah. And our the playoff committee looks at the strength of record. Arkansas' strength of record is it's not very good.
No.
Because the teams we beat are bad, except for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Which if you look at how do we beat Tennessee with a backup quarterback, backup running back? I don't know.
But then also look at Oklahoma State now.
Yeah.
Look at LSU now.
Yeah.
LSU
had 3 weeks. Yeah.
LSU's what, 6-4 now?
Mm-hmm. They were in national, championship.
We made them look like they're the greatest team. We made Nussmeier look like John Elway.
Oh yeah, just dink and dunk.
And Florida absolutely picked apart Nussmeier, killed him,
and they sacked him. Something nobody could do.
And I just don't understand. I don't know, man. I need a coach that will at least consistently have us in a position where we can win 7 to 8 games.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that is the difference between Houston Nutt and Sam Pittman. Houston people got tired of 8-4 being okay. Now, if you want to know the truth, Blake, 8-4 would be perfectly acceptable to the Arkansas fan base.
Yeah.
Because at 8
Oh
and
yeah.
4, you're probably a ranked team at the end of the year. Now, are you a top 10 team? No, but you're a top 25 team at 8 and 4.
Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you a question because I was talking to some guys at work, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Pittman's coming back and should come back." He's saying, "Who have we lost to that we were supposed to beat?" You know, I mean, he's saying Pittman's doing what he's supposed to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Well, yeah, but that's just the thing. We're so
That's just
bad.
Yeah.
that's just the bare minimum. I mean,
Yeah, we're bad.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's praising Sam Pittman for being bad.
Yeah. Yep.
so Sam Pittman
Those are his
gets
players.
raises.
Who are you gonna
Yeah.
blame?
So
Yeah.
he gets these big raises for doing the bare minimum.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just, I'm
And
just telling you,
and
just telling what
you're
people
telling
tell
me
me.
ticket prices are going up?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Mhm.
That's what I said. 70,000 people will not be in the stadium to watch us play that game
Yeah.
when Texas is consistently a top 5 team and we are consistently not relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a rivalry. That's boring.
Hmm.
No one gets excited when they hear the name. Well, you get excited when you hear Steve Sarkisian,
Yeah.
right? But no one gets excited when you hear the name Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
You just
And
don't.
here's
There's
the
no excitement.
now
No offense to the guy.
I know the Hogs don't play at night too often, but if you ever watch the South Carolina game and the way their fans get in, like that's part. I mean, that's a top 5 stadium to like to play in. I mean, they get it rocking. It's like only 50,000 people, 60,000. It's not like a huge stadium, but
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second.
uh
South Carolina. Beamer had a rough year last year, right?
yeah,
Do you
mhm.
think South Carolina fans would have said 6-6, we're happy?
No,
No, no, of
mhm.
course not.
Yeah,
I think
But that's
kind of
what we're saying.
probably what's happened is we've been mediocre to bad for so long.
Beamer would have been fired at South Carolina this year if he finished at 6-6.
yeah,
I believe that.
I agree. I agree. But all right, real quick, let's get a prediction in if you want to. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the Hogs are going to win, but I'll go. Shoot, I'll go 42-17.
I'll go 35-17.
Yeah,
34-17.
yeah. So hey, they're going to score 17, according to us. All right, anything on football before we switch to an interesting basketball team?
Uh, just real quick, Blake, I want to ask
Mm-hmm.
this just
Yeah,
in y'all's minds. So, theoretically speaking, because now we have to speak theoretically.
yeah.
Let's say Coach Pittman goes into the offseason, he has surgery, he moves on from the program, okay? Or we move on from him, one of the two. Who are the names that come up for coaching position at Arkansas? Tra-
Lashley.
I think Rhett Lashley.
Yeah,
Travis Williams probably gets an interview?
yeah,
I think he'll get an interview, but I mean, you have to get somebody that's proven at this point. You can't take a chance on an up and
mm.
comer right now.
Well, I'll tell you well, he's not an up and comer. He's doing really good, and that is Dillingham at Arizona State. I like him. He's kind of kind of a outsider, I guess, but I like him. Lashley, I've told you I don't. It's just the reason I don't like Lashley is because of Chad Morris. A former SMU is just having that label. I mean, Lashley's a great coach. It's just we're hiring another SMU coach. That's the only reason. It's nothing against him.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't. I'll say it right now. I don't think any SEC coach gets fired, which is shocking.
I think one does.
Yeah,
I think one
yeah,
SEC coach gets fired this year.
yeah.
Well, I think I'm not 100% sure. I'm not, or two of them. I'm not 100% confident on the two,
Yeah.
but the two. Who do you think the two are?
Probably Florida
Probably.
coach.
Mm, no,
It's
not
not
Florida.
Napier. It's not who I'm thinking of.
Venables and Stoops.
Those are the two.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah,
Stoops and Brent Venables. Yeah.
yeah.
Kentucky and OU.
I
Those are
can
those two.
if I had to make a bet, I would bet Venables over Stoops. I think
And here's what happens, Blake. Hear me out on this. If Brent Venables gets fired, who is going to be the next head coach at OU? And you're gonna flip whenever you think about it.
it is.
Think about it.
It's Tennessee's coach Heupel.
That'll be Josh Heupel, I think.
Yep, home. That's their homeboy. They
Yep.
love him.
But anyways, I wanted to ask that real quick.
Now
So,
who? Any other names that we didn't mention for that you could see?
I'm trying to think about some names that could possibly come up. Iowa State's head coach.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think you're looking at Rhett Lashley. I think a lot of people are highly interested in Rhett Lashley. So, but I really think that if Arkansas wants to be successful, they're going to have to. I mean, and I hate it for the guy. It's not like I dislike the guy. I just think you have to move on from Sam Pittman and thank him for what he was able to do to stabilize the program at a time where it was just 2-10 under Morris, and move on. So, anyways.
Well, I got a name that we have said on the show that we do not want, but just looking at the connections, and he's doing pretty well. It's Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he's gonna be the head coach of Colorado or the Dallas Cowboys.
It's gonna be Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Jason finally feels what a Jaguar fan feels every year, and the Cowboys
They're
not doing
terrible.
good.
Terrible.
All
Just
right.
take it so they can get
Yeah.
draft high.
Yeah. All right. So basketball has, I would say, 6.5 healthy players. They have 7 bodies, but Davis, he's got that little wrist, and he kind of aggravated it the other night, and really didn't. I mean, for us to win by that much against Pacific, I think is good. I mean, you could tell the guys were getting a little tired. You can see the pieces are there. But, we don't have our full team. We don't have Brazil. He's out with that ankle injury. Adu's still trying to come into action. Your freshmen are still trying to learn how to win. Kentucky, they're still crapping on us, which is fine. I mean, Kentucky is a better team right now than Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I appreciated what the head coach at Lipscomb had to say about when he said that he did say it. Kentucky is the best offensive team that he has, I guess, he's ever seen.
Yeah, which is, it's true.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I mean, Mark Pope has got them shooting through. I mean, they look like the dang Warriors out there, just jacking up threes, and they go in.
They're good. I mean, here's an Arkansas podcast talking about a Kentucky head coach and saying how highly we think of him. So he's a good coach. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt.
Yeah. But we're Arkansas still lives rent free in Kentucky sports. Matt Jones and
always will.
That February 1st game will be it's going to be must watch TV because Arkansas goes to Kentucky. But we got your alma mater this Friday. Little Rock travels up to Bud Walton Arena to take on the 7-player Arkansas Razorback team.
Is it fun, or do they play in Little Rock this weekend?
I think it should be Bud Walton because everyone's talking about tickets and all that. But if it's not, hey, go to Simmons Bank Arena and fill it out. But let's talk about a big issue because people don't want to, is attendance. No one is showing up. So do you think it's the team they're playing, or is it the team right now is not too exciting to watch? People are still stuck in football season, so they don't want to go to basketball games, or all the tickets have been sold. It's just the people don't go to the games. That's the issue. There's no single game. Now, they just released some single game tickets, but for these first few games, there was no single game tickets. You had to buy them off StubHub, SeatGeek.
I personally think it's who they're playing. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. Some fan bases will show up if you're playing the junior high basketball team down the street. But Arkansas fan base, we've been grown accustomed to the schedule showing, Muscle. You got to give Musselman credit, man. We played tough non-conference schedules, and we loved it. We love, and even if you lost those games, you just love just to turn on the TV and see Arkansas play someone tough. But Lipscomb, ULR. I'd rather. Why don't we play Arkansas State?
Yeah.
Just something. We may lose to ULR this. Who knows? But and then the other thing is, I wish Coach Cal would have understood how badly we needed depth whenever he was recruiting, because he's got some guys on the roster that are just sitting there, and all they are practice dummies. So why go out and get them if you have no intention of putting them on the floor? You know what I mean, Blake?
Yeah.
Don't go out and get guys.
So what you're talking about is like the 5:30 mark, right before that under 4 timeout. You put a guy in so that starter, that player gets a longer break.
Right.
So just like send him out there for 2 or 3 minutes just to give him a blow. Like Sanchez, he hasn't touched the floor. I can't even think of those other guys' names, but yeah, it's just why are they not touching the floor just to give them a break? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know if Cal knows. I will say, Coach Cal's press conferences are a lot different than Musselman's. Coach Cal likes to talk, and he doesn't quite answer the questions. He kind of dances around it, and then he starts asking the reporters questions. So, since you live closest to Fayetteville, like, let's say you had the opportunity to go, like, would you go to these games? They're playing Lipscomb, Pacific.
Shoot. I traveled to every single football game when we had Chad Morris, and that was I lived 4.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I do the same thing for
basketball. So now on John Neighbor's show Inside Arkansas, they talk about how marketing is not really publicizing these games. But here's my thing. There's the students are saying, "Oh, I didn't know we had a game today." If you really care, if you really follow the Razorbacks, I think you will know that you have a game today.
The schedule's been out for how long?
Yeah. It's not an excuse. That just means you really don't care until conference time.
Yeah.
But Ashton, you would like this. Cal said since the second half of the Baylor game, they're shooting like 40% from 3.
Yeah, that they shot the ball a lot better the other night. I'll tell you right now, there was one guy on Pacific that boy, he was shooting the lights out. But the thing about Pacific, and a lot of people were getting upset, and this shouldn't be this close. That Pacific team that was terrible last year, that is not the same Pacific team. It's just like Arkansas is a different team. The head coach from Pacific was a proven head coach in Canadian collegiate sports and was very successful. He comes to Pacific and he recruits guys in the transfer portal that were Division I athletes. Like, we got a mascot.
Oh yeah. My cat's been over here too. So black cat. It's bad luck, right?
Yeah. Well, not this one. I tell you, this one's very much like me. He likes to eat. So, but that was a pretty good little team, and they didn't back down to the Razorbacks. They played the whole game. I saw Coach Cal stop the head coach after the game was over, and I think he went over to talk to him a little more. I really appreciated the way that guy coached. You know what I mean? He was from beginning to end, coached hard. Yep. So as far as schedule goes, you really don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Even non-conference games, but you still like to look up and you like to see a top 25 team. Give Kentucky credit. They went out and scheduled Duke.
Yep, and beat them.
Well, we beat them last year too. And look how we ended up.
Yeah, I know. And also we beat the number 1 team in that little scrimmage too last year. But anyway, that was last year's. Next 3 games for Arkansas are kind of weird and different. But we got Euler this Saturday or this Friday at 8 o'clock, SEC Network, and then Monday we got Maryland Eastern, and then Thanksgiving Day we play Illinois. So
Yeah, it's so weird. It's weird.
yeah.
Oh.
So I know, Jason, I'll be in your neck of the woods Thursday, so hopefully we can find a TV and depending on how the game goes, might be our Thanksgiving nap time
Well,
or or watching the game.
it's a 3 o'clock game that day.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, real quick, let's go over the SEC games this week in football. We're winding down the season, so all right, Ole Miss and Florida. Ole Miss is about a 12-point favorite. So, if Ole Miss wants to keep progressing to that playoff, they really need to win this.
Yeah. And I think they will. I think they'll win it by at least 14. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, by the way.
No.
But it depends. It depends, Blake. And Jason, you might agree, or as far as if Ole Miss, the defensive line gets pressure on Florida, it'll be a long day for Florida, and it will be a blowout. If Florida can manage that defensive pressure, then it'll be a close game. Florida will play game management, hold on, try to control the ball, and it'll be a little closer. Now, I still think Ole Miss wins, but it won't. I don't think by a lot. So
yeah, I think. Yeah, if Florida's going to get to a bowl game, so because they got Ole Miss, and I think they end the year with Florida State. So
Yeah.
So they should beat Florida State, but you never know. All right, now that's not a very big SEC schedule. We got UMass and Georgia. Not even going to talk about that one. UTEP and Tennessee. Yep. Kentucky and Texas. Can Kentucky get another? Kentucky beat Ole Miss, so you think they can pull off another upset?
Texas will be ready.
Yeah.
Texas will be ready.
I'm just Kentucky has this season they've leaned on their defense. So if Kentucky's defense shows up, it could get interesting.
Yeah, good.
But,
you just don't know.
Yeah. And then Missouri, Mississippi State. I think Missouri should win that one easily. So, and your second favorite team, Oklahoma, plays Alabama. You think any chance Oklahoma?
I got Alabama by 21.
So, and then Texas A&M, Auburn. Now here's all right. I know y'all don't look at spreads or anything, so I'm gonna ask the non-existent Coach Wilson right now and Jason. What do you think the spread is for the Texas A&M Auburn game?
Well, I think I'm looking at the same page you were.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. I see it.
It's I don't know if Vegas knows that we don't. That Auburn is not a great team. Texas A&M is on the outside looking into the top 12. So I think A&M should have been at least a 7-point favorite, but I don't know.
I definitely don't see a 2.5 point favorite to A&M.
Yeah,
and it should be more.
Yeah.
Is A&M missing a quarterback?
No, they're not missing anything.
Well, I don't know. I don't understand what the thinking is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, something's up. And then can Vanderbilt go to LSU and get it done?
They can. I just don't know if they will.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another night game for those LSU Tigers. So. All right, hold on, I'm pulling up. So, real quick, here at 4-Star, we have partnered with Ashton knows them pretty well, but on Instagram they're known as Hog Sports. Okay, they cover the Hogs. Got a lot of Instagram followers, and they're on Twitter or X and all that. And they do a real good job. They have partnered with us here at 4-Star, so we're gonna get some things rolling. Hopefully next week they can be on the show if we have a show. If not, we'll do it first week in December. especially with the transfer portal about to be open. So it'd be real cool to get their insight on everything Arkansas related. So Ashton, I don't know if you have any more to add to that.
Yeah, so their Instagram page is actually called Hogs Media, HOGSMEDIA,
Yeah.
and it has somewhere in the realm of 12 to 13.
Yeah.
It's a super great page for Razorback fans to follow. It gets a lot of attention, and they have a lot of great information for people to go check out. So I would highly recommend giving them a follow. I primarily follow them on Instagram, and they are very, very diligent on posting and updating their profile. So
Yeah.
look forward to teaming up with them, and I look forward to getting some of their insight because, man, they're very knowledgeable on Razorback sports and sports in general.
Yeah. So yeah, that's at Hogs Media, and we're kind of joining forces, 4-Star and us with Hogs Media. So again, excited to work with them, get their insights again on all, and they're going to help us out with recruiting news. So as you know, transfer portal season is a fun one, depending on who gets the most NIL money and all that. But all right, before we leave, I need y'all's top three because tomorrow's my last day for school before we get out for a week. So what's your top Thanksgiving dish? Like it has to be at Thanksgiving, no matter what.
Oh, you already know mine.
I'm going to guess Jason's is dressing, but
Oh, you be
all
correct.
right. What's yours, Coach Wilson?
Bro, I've got to have some deep fried turkey.
Deep fried turkey.
Yes.
Very specific. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get a deep
I'm going
fried.
what? Deep fried deviled egg? No.
No, I say you get a deep fried turkey sandwich at Arby's now.
Yeah, you can. It's actually not bad.
You do deep fried turkey. It is with
Yeah.
maybe Cajun deep fried turkey,
Yeah.
even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyways, follow us at 4-Star Sports on X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have reached over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, so we appreciate everyone out there. And follow us at Hogs Happy Hour on X. And like and share the Facebook page and all that. We may or may not see you next week, but if we do, I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. So until next week.
But if not, happy Thanksgiving.
No, yeah, if not, enjoy family time. Enjoy that Thanksgiving nap. Enjoy the pecan pie. Enjoy the deep fried turkey for Coach Wilson. And
Yeah.
y'all have a good